Today we have found an absolutely amazing community with monster homes and monster lots. This is Linden at Alberhill by Pulte Homes. This is a great community. As I said, massive homes, some awesome amenities. You've got a pool, kids play area, all sorts of things for you and the family to do. I can't wait to show it to you. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things Temecula Valley, from new construction tours, neighborhood spotlights, to new things coming here to the valley. I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you and your family make the move. Let's check these beautiful model homes out. Welcome inside the Stanwood. One of my favorite features here is this massive living space. It's right off the front door, but kind of tucked in here. It's separated from things, but it's just a nice, cozy room to hang out with the family. One of my favorite features upstairs in this home is this master bathroom, where we actually have two completely separate vanities, two separate sinks. I'm sorry, honey, if you're watching this, but I do love the fact that you get your own space inside this bathroom. Next up, we've got the Prodigy floor plan. This one is 5 to 7 bedrooms, 4 to 5 bathrooms, depending on what you choose, and it is 3,337 square feet. Let's check it out. One of my favorite features inside of this home is actually this downstairs bedroom right here. It has its own ensuite bathroom, walk-in closet, and linen closet. It is perfect for those older parents that are coming to live with you that need some downstairs space. One of my favorite features in the upstairs of this home is this Jack and Jill bathroom. We don't often see them inside of new construction, so when they bring it in, I always have to point it out. So now that you've seen some of the beautiful model homes, Linden at Alberhill here in Lake Elsinore by Pulte Homes, let's get into the nitty-gritty of things. This is where we break down what the amenities are for the community, some pros, some cons. We'll talk about HOA, tax rate, prices, get you all the information that you need to know before you actually move into this community. First off, let's talk about some of the pros to this community. One of my favorite things is a massive garage. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of tools, and I want to park my cars in there as well as store all the stuff. I'm not allowed to call it junk. All of the stuff that comes with our household. So if you like big garages, this is the community for you. You've actually got 3-car garages here. They look like a 2-car, but there's one that's tandem, so it's actually 2 cars, then you've got one in front. That's great for storage or for a workout area, anything, a workshop, things like that. So you've got big garages. Next up, the massive lot sizes. That is one of the biggest things here. My biggest complaint with builders right now is that they're realizing smaller lot sizes mean they can squeeze in another 1 or 2 homes, and it comes at the expense of someone that's actually gonna have to live there. They're left with these tiny little backyards that no dog should ever have to run around in or could barely even run around in. And these lots are massive, and some of them come with some amazing views actually down to the lake. So it is a great pro as far as the size of those lots and the views that come with the lots. So now let's talk about some things to look out for, or you could call them cons if we're going for that. But 2 things I think that you should look out for when it comes to moving to this neighborhood. Number 1 is that the school system is a little bit lower rated. And you've heard me talk about some of these lesser developed cities that have lower rated schools. And that is the case here, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but as tax dollars come in from new construction communities, we expect those school scores to come up as we see more money coming into the community. Secondly, the location is okay, in my opinion. You've got some great views to things, but it is a little bit further to shopping. You're definitely gonna need to hop on the freeway if you want to get to a grocery store. Basically, the closest thing to you is a gas station and some outlet center. So that's all you've got really close to you without actually getting on the freeway or taking some back roads to get to some other places. So the location-wise is not my favorite, but it is just something, obviously you're gonna get a bigger home for a better price. You just have to sacrifice a little bit on the location. Now let's move on to some of the amenities here. You do have an HOA payment, which we will discuss, but it comes with some great amenities. You've got some walking trails, parks, picnic areas, you've got a pool, a water park area, a splash pad for the kids, as well as a clubhouse. So if you are looking for a place that has a ton of amenities, this neighborhood actually has it. And yes, you're gonna pay some of that HOA for it, but you're gonna get access to those amenities. There are a lot of new build communities right now that are coming up, forcing you to pay an HOA, but giving you none of those amenities. So this is a huge pro for the community. So now let's talk about what you're going to be paying on a monthly basis. So what is actually going to get rolled into your monthly payment? We've got to talk about 2 things here. First and foremost, you've got your property taxes. And that, as you know, if you've watched this channel for any period of time, is something we have to watch out for here in our area. It varies greatly from neighborhood to neighborhood, and it affects your monthly payment by a ton. So property tax here is 1.97%, and that is actually on the mid to high side of property taxes here for the Temecula Valley. So we can see property taxes anywhere from 1.1 all the way up to about 2.3%. So you can see mid-high side of things as far as property taxes. If you want to know exactly what you're going to be paying, just go ahead and take the purchase price of the home, which we'll share here in a moment, and multiply that by the 1.97% tax rate, and that will be your annual tax bill that's usually chopped up into 12 payments that roll into your monthly payment. So keep that in mind when we're looking at what the cost is monthly for the community. Now, the second thing we need to talk about is that HOA payment. So I mentioned you've got some awesome amenities, but it does come with a cost. The HOA fee right now is $192 a month. That does go down just slightly at full build out. When the community is completely finished, it will be $184 a month. But again, keep in mind all the awesome amenities you're getting for that $184 per month. Now let's talk about pricing. I'm sure you've been waiting for it, and here it is. When it comes to the Stanwood floor plan, that was the first one we looked at here on today's video tour. That is $686,000 currently. Keep in mind as we go through these prices that these are as of today, and each phase release with these new construction communities goes up by $5,000 to $10,000. So as we get further along, expect these prices to go up. Now for the second floor plan, which we actually didn't get to tour because it is not modeled here at the community, that is the Harlow floor plan. That is a 4 to 6 bedroom, 3.5 to 5 bathroom option. And that one right now is going for $702,000. And last but not least, that massive Prodigy model, that is $734,000. Now let me add a little caveat to the prices here. Not only can they go up due to different phase releases, but you've got to keep in mind lot premiums. So if there's a lot that is larger, in a better location, with better views, you're going to be paying a lot premium on top of those prices. Not only that, but there are some of those right now that have upgrades built into them. If you happen to catch one of those homes that is up for sale and some of those upgrades have been added, you can expect $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more in some upgrades that have already been added to those models, and so that's gonna up your cost as well. Now you may be lucky enough to catch one of those base models at that lower price, but then they're gonna walk you through the beautiful design center and try to convince you to go up on some of those upgrades as well. And that's your choice. If you decide to have the builder do those, that's just going to increase the price. But the good news is that's financed over 30 years, so you're gonna see little impact in your monthly payment. Now let's move on to solar. So when you're buying a new construction home here in Southern California, it is required that that home comes with solar. You don't get the choice, I'm sorry. So solar energy comes with the home, but you're gonna have to pick one of two options here when it comes to the solar. The builder is going to either let you lease those panels, meaning you have a fixed monthly payment, and then they put the panels up on the roof and you're paying that monthly payment regardless of how those panels are performing. The other option is a flat out purchase. It just means that you buy the panels, you own the panels, and you get the production based off of the panels that you put up there. Now these solar systems, a little caveat, they're not gonna cover your entire electric bill unless you just never run your AC and you're barely turning on those lights. These are smaller systems meant to be a supplement, so you still will likely have an electric bill due on top of this, so something to keep in mind. But I do tell all of our clients that buy new construction that you start with this and then you call a solar professional after you close escrow and they can add some additional panels to zero out that electric bill for you, which I think is a huge pro. Now when it comes to the lease payment, that will be $177 to $190 per month depending on the floor plan. The smaller plan, less payment. The bigger plan, higher payment. When it comes to the flat out purchase, that is going to be $30,000 all the way up to $35,000 for those panels. So you have to weigh out which option is best for you. I do typically recommend if you can go for the purchase, it's gonna be the best and it's gonna be the cleanest for you later on down the road. If you make that purchase, it gets rolled into that purchase price on top of the price of the home. So it's financed over 30 years, typically at a better rate than you would get if you were getting solar on your own. And then when it comes to selling that property, it's a much easier transfer process to have those panels transferred to a new owner than it is with a lease. The other advantage to the purchase is you actually get a tax credit with that purchase as well, which is not something you get with the lease option. Next up, let's talk about the school system. We've got little ones that are gonna be going to school. I'm sure you're curious what the schools look like, what their test scores, all that good stuff is. So we actually use a simplified grading system called greatschools.org. It's actually a website you can visit on your own, do some additional research beyond what we're actually giving you here on the channel today. But this gives us a score out of 10, from 1 to 10, ranking these schools based on their test scores and some other different elements that they're considering when it comes to the school system. So if you've got an elementary age student, you've got Alberhill Elementary, that is rated a 4 out of 10 on the greatschools.org chart. If you're going to junior high or middle school, you've got Terracotta Middle School that is also rated a 4 out of 10. And for high school, you've got Lakeside High School, which is a 5 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Now I did mention to you that was definitely something to watch out for when it came to moving here to this community. Definitely lower test scores, but it's lower than we typically see here in the Temecula Valley. However, as tax dollars come in, that's where that 1.97% tax rate is going to go towards schools and other things inside the community. It's not just wasted dollars, those are things that are going to improve along the way. So the more new construction, the more things that come into the area here in Lake Elsinore, the more you're gonna see some of those test scores come up because more money will be put into education in the area. So, maybe if you're catching a student early on in their education, this might be a good buy for you because you get a good price because some of it is worked into the school system here. And then as you go through school, those scores will increase over time. That's my prediction. I can't guarantee it, but we have seen it historically as more tax dollars get pushed into different communities. Now, as always, we always wrap these videos up with 2 tips for you when it comes to buying new construction. First and foremost, this one's super important and most people miss out on this, so I don't want you to miss it. When it comes to visiting one of these new construction communities, it is very important that you take us with you on your very first visit. Why is that important? Because if you go in there by yourself, which, hey, you absolutely can, the moment you walk in there, you have actually waived your right to representation, outside representation, and now the builder becomes your representative. So basically the person inside that sales office then becomes the agent that represents you and the builder at the same time. I'm not sure how that can be done fairly, and honestly, I don't even see that that's gonna be legal for very long inside of California. That's kind of like one attorney representing both sides in a divorce. They can't fairly represent you both. So if you walk in that way, that's exactly how that's going to go down. If you bring us with you, we can then represent you throughout the sale, help negotiate things for you, make sure that you've got all of the information that you need to make an informed decision. So reach out to us, schedule a call with us, and we will get you there as soon as possible. Even if it's tomorrow, let us know. Someone from our team will be there to meet you and walk you through that sales office. The second tip is there are going to be incentives built into purchasing these homes. Sometimes we see credits of $10, $15, all the way up to $30,000. These can be used towards closing cost credits, towards interest rate buy downs, upgrades within the home. This is a credit that you will often get. How do they give you that credit? It's because they actually ask you to use their preferred lender. They're going to introduce you to a lender that you will have to be pre-qualified with. Even if you have your own outside lender already, you have to pre-qualify with them, and then they're gonna throw out that offer to you. Hey, I'll give you $10,000 if you use our lender. Hey, I'll give you $15,000 if you use our lender. Be prepared for that. It's very rare that an outside lender can beat the incentives that these in-house lenders are offering to you. So be prepared that you might actually have to make a switch just to take advantage of some of those incentives. And I will just say, it comes with a little bit of a cost, not a financial cost to you, but the customer service when it comes to those lenders, they know they've got 200, 300 homes being built at a time. They've got pretty much a guaranteed client base for the next several years. The customer service is a little less than desired. So I'm not gonna say that's 100% all the time. I'm sorry if you're a lender watching this and saying, I give great service. I'm sure you're out there, but typically we see a little bit less of a service than you would with your own private lender. All right, guys, that's it for our breakdown of Linden at Alberhill here in Lake Elsinore by Pulte Homes. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Leave a comment below as well about any questions you have about the community here, living in Lake Elsinore, living in the Temecula Valley, current prices. We monitor those on a daily basis and we will get back to you right away. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you guys next time.